Hey everyone, my name is Vineet. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cogent, where we build AI agents to transform cybersecurity for many of the world's leading brands. So I know not everybody in the audience is a cybersecurity savant, but at the very least, folks have probably seen headlines that look something like this. Every single week, another major brand compromised, personal data lost, and millions of dollars in fines, reputational damage, et cetera. Now, what's concerning to me, having worked in the industry for quite some time, is not the fact that this is happening, because it's been happening for many years and decades. It's the intensity of growth. And if we think about the reasons for why, really AI has been a significant accelerant. All of us in the audience here are vibe coding, right? And as we generate more and more code, we're generating more vulnerable code that attackers can get to. Attackers also have access to AI toolkits where they can just feed a prompt into an LLM and all of a sudden exploit these security risks much, much faster than ever before. So life has gotten way easier for the attackers. And then on the defensive side of things, it's still very human-led. So there's way more work to do than people to do it, and ultimately tensions that you have to manage across multiple different teams within an enterprise. This visual gives you kind of a rough sense of the typical flow for many security workflows, including vulnerability management, which we focus on. There's a million tools out there that find your problems, but the challenge is actually fixing them. And to fix them, you need to gather context on systems, right? So where are my top risks, and what can I safely patch, so on and so forth. Prioritize to find the needle in the haystack that may actually cause a problem for your business, and then go navigate the remediation lifecycle. If I can get the slides to work here. We're back in business. So this is the one slide view of how Cogent actually works. We put all of that on autopilot, right? So we index a bunch of data from across the enterprise, everything from security data to data from business applications. And the left-hand side of this looks a lot like a tool like Glean, right? Where we're making sense of these large data sets that are oftentimes unstructured. And then from there, we have a lot of domain-specific AI agents that resemble an organization's best security, engineering, and IT personnel, and automate a bunch of workflows, and really cut off attack paths before threat actors can actually get to them. We have a customer of ours that likes to look at this visual and describes it as the Iron Man suit for cybersecurity, basically, which I think is a very appropriate analogy. Just an example use case, there's a lot you can do with the Cogent platform, but for anybody who remembers the Log4Shell meltdown from a couple years ago, right, or any critical zero-day vulnerability, within seconds of something like that happening, Cogent can immediately find the exposures across an organization, tell you exactly what to do about them, and when an executive feeds any sort of prompt into the system, they can understand exactly what's going on. For context, when the Log4j issue came out a couple years ago, this took many organizations months or even years to be able to do. So you can just visualize the amount of time savings there. A little bit about the team, 22 folks based across San Francisco and New York. I myself came from a company called Abnormal AI. When I was there, it was the fastest growing American cybersecurity company ever. And I'm joined by colleagues that also come from cyber, but also just leading companies here in the Valley, whether Coinbase, Stripe, DeepMind, and others. And we've been growing like crazy. We're backed by top investors like Greylock, serving right now Fortune 100 companies, elite Ivy League universities, and many public companies with billions of dollars of revenue. This year, we're going to be scaling our impact across many customers. We're going to be expanding the product portfolio, and we're trying to double the team in the next 3.5 months, which is going to be extremely ambitious. So if any of this is interesting to you, we're hiring aggressively for software engineers of every discipline. I'm extremely proud of the fact that I think we have the best swag in the business. So I'll be in the Cogent vest. And if anybody wants to learn how to get one of these, happy to chat. Thank you all.